What's up, Solow Sportsters? I'm here inside the indoor tennis center at the US Open to do a review of the Babolat Pure Drive 2021 Wimbledon Edition. Take a look around, see what we thought of it, and find out if this is your next weapon of choice. For this playtest, we strung up the racket with Babolat Exalt at 56 pounds. Given that the racket is relatively stiff and provides great amounts of power, we felt that putting in a string that both provided comfort and a little bit more control would be a great combination alongside this gorgeous racket. The Babolat Pure Drive Wimbledon 2024 is 300 grams, which equates to 10.6 ounces unstrung, with a swing weight of 320, making it 4 points head light with a balance point of 13 inches. It has a 100 square inch head size, a length of 27 inches, an open 16 by 19 string pattern, and a beam that goes from 23 to 26 to 23 millimeters. The stock grip is Syntec Pro and has a glossy white and silver cosmetic. So for all the clubs out there that think they're Wimbledon and require all whites, even your racket will follow the rules. Unlike in previous generations where they've played around with the greens and the purples to call out the Wimbledon colors, this year I love that they went all not truly monotone, but sort of just a grayscale situation where it's mostly blacks, whites, grays, so that it's a really perfect racket that can match to any outfit, any situation. So for those of us who love to coordinate our strings and our shoes and our rackets and all that sort of stuff, this is a fantastic racket to take out on court. They have the nice detailing of the Wimbledon right here, all the specs on the opposite side as per usual, but otherwise a very clean, simple cosmetic, perfect for anyone who likes any color racket. From the baseline, this racket is an absolute guilty pleasure for me. It felt like an absolute tank wielding this thing around, getting it out in front, plowing through the ball with devastating amounts of power. But that's what the Pure Drive has always been known for. Absolute insane amounts of power. I feel like when I really went for my shots, I was gonna kill a bird with it. But when I just slowed myself down, let the racket do the work, it was a really fun and guilty pleasure for me, especially compared to my normal, much lighter, much more control-oriented racket of choice. The only major knock I really have against a racket like this is just how stiff it is. I mean, we all joke about how Babolat rackets are really stiff, but you really feel it with a Pure Drive. I mean, I personally hate vibration dampeners, but a racket like this makes me somewhat considerate because you can just feel every shot just carry into your arm. And I can imagine if I'm playing against some higher level players and really going for my shots and being bludgeoned against, I would just find this racket very jarring. I might have to consider moving into a hybrid instead of a full poly setup. That way I can help protect my arm, and I would have to maybe jack the tension up to help offset that. So I feel like there's just too many dials I'd have to turn to make this into my racket. But this is a great, like, all-round fun day at the office, rallying sort of racket, and I could absolutely recommend this to a whole host of players. And also, going back to that cosmetic, it's just absolutely perfect. Though this probably wouldn't be my first choice as a volleying racket, it was definitely stable up there. I was definitely able to punch my volleys super deep and let the racket do most of the work for me. Where I probably got into a bit of trouble was when I was trying to do some more finesse related things, so short chip or perfect into the corner and a curving slice away. But when I was just going for brute force and just blocking down the middle, it was super fun and super easy. An absolute gem of a racket. That's why I keep saying that it's my guilty pleasure, because it's such an easy racket to pick up and play. It doesn't require too much thought and too much work, but for that, I feel like I lose a little bit of control and a little bit of that dexterity that I can get out of a more control-oriented, maybe thinner beamed, maybe smaller head size racket.
This racket scored highly in our Solow Sports graded review. As a power-centric frame, this racket is catered towards players with a more modern game style and find themselves hugging the baseline and coming into net mostly when there's an easy put away. The ideal player for this racket has an NTRP rating of 3.0 or higher, is looking for a racket to help generate pace, and spend most of their time hitting ground strokes. While this racket is better suited for players with a two-handed backhand, one-handers, like myself, can definitely reap its rewards. Similar rackets from other brands include the Head Instinct MP, the Yonex E-Zone 100, the Dunlop FX 500, the Ultra 100, and the Solinco Blackout 300. I highly recommend you give this racket a try next time you're looking to upgrade your equipment.
We hope you've enjoyed this review of the Babolat Pure Drive 2021 Wimbledon Edition. If you have any comments, make sure you leave them down below so that we can hear from you. And if you want us to review any other special edition rackets, make sure you comment so that we can always let you in on the newest, latest, and greatest things.